down in the field, I'm Yasmin Shaw. The Michigan Wolverines continue their tough early season slate today with their fourth contest against a ranked team. Today's opponent, the St. Joseph Hawks, come in sporting a 3-1 record, ranked 10th in the nation, and fresh off a 2-0 shutout of the Michigan State Spartans. For their part, the 8th-ranked Wolverines got their offense on track on Friday with a 7-0 shutout over Davidson and now carry a 3-2 record. All signs point to a hard-fought, low-scoring affair with the advantage going to whomever scores first. Now back to the booth.
Yasmin, thank you so much. We have gotten underway here at Encore Field. Michigan in the maze here with control early on. Wolverines coming in number 8 in the country. Got off to an 0-2 start with a challenging non-conference trip down to North Carolina. They lost to the top-ranked Tar Heels 3-2 and then fell to Wake Forest. Into the circle, a reverse right away, and it's swatted. Nicely done by Janelle Ward, the grad student goalkeeper for St. Joseph's. How about that opportunity less than a minute in?
Yeah, that's what we're looking to see for Michigan here. They have just such a relentless attack, fierce shots that you don't want to be facing those if you're the goalie for the other team.
Janelle Ward in her first season as a starter. She was at Southern Connecticut State, replacing a 3-year starter in Robin Bleekemolen, who was tremendous in her career with the Hawks. St. Joseph's, their lone loss came to the number 6 team in the country, Virginia, last Friday on September the 1st. Otherwise, wins over UMass Lowell, Yale. We talked about the Michigan State win, and the most impressive, knocking off 15th-ranked UConn earlier this year. St. Joseph's first trek down toward the offensive side of things. It's Manu Gigliotti, who's so tremendous for St. Joseph's. Not able to get a whole lot going there. Now Rosie Hope will elevate. Nice threading of the needle there to get it to Caitlin Coco. Michigan then turns it over. And a whistle. So St. Joseph's will keep it. About 2.5 minutes in. Third all-time meeting between these two programs. They faced off in the NCAA tournament a few years back. Michigan won that and the regular season clash out in Philadelphia 1 year later in 2019. Aaron Riley couldn't save that. It'll go to St. Joseph's, and quickly on the attack is Gigliotti.
Yeah, if you're St. Joe's, you don't want to be holding on to the ball too long. Michigan has really excellent tackling abilities, 1v1 defense. So you really want to just get that ball and send it as fast as you can, find the open player, and send it forward. Don't want to hang on to the ball too long.
In the cage here today for Michigan, Kaylee McMahon, the redshirt sophomore from Massachusetts. She had a shutout on Friday night here at home. Now Gigliotti. Try to get into the circle. Deflects around, and it'll go to Michigan. So that early shot from the Wolverines, that's been about it. Now a turnover. Hawks with it. And that one hit off a Wolverine. That was Abby Burnett. Back out to Katie Benton. Flipping it toward the cage. And that is in the grasp of Claire Taylor for Michigan. Hawks get it back. Flipped up ahead, and it's going back to the Wolverines.
Yeah, St. Joe's putting on a really high press right now. I'd like to see Oliveros utilize her really long, hard ball she has coming out of the backfield and try to connect with a forward upwards for Michigan.
Oliveros possesses right now. Now near-sided Rosie Hope. Can't quite get that one over to Isabella Paul-D. So St. Joseph's on the other way. Caitlin Coco pondered a tough pass crossing inside, and that'll go back to Michigan. Bad pass. It's Micah Gorison weaving her way inside, just outside the cage, and I think that made contact with Gorison before that shot. First real effort and opportunity there for St. Joseph's to get credit for a shot there. As we take a look at Kaylee McMahon, locked in her first shutout win last Sunday against Old Dominion. Got another one back on Friday against Davidson to get Michigan above 500 for the first time this season. Claire Taylor zipped that one right past Kelsey Reviello, beg your pardon. And landed. It has been interesting and impressive to watch all these young Wolverines. A lot of freshmen that have been leaned on, a lot of young players with so many departures from last year, the redshirting of Abby Tamer, Emmy Tran being out for the season. The youth has been impressive, hasn't it?
Yep, definitely. Michigan's been able to utilize many of their freshmen. And I think this just really is good for Michigan looking forward to their future. If you can get those freshmen on and playing and involved in the games as much as you can early, they're only going to get better from there. So I'm sure Coach Pankratz is happy with the performance by the freshmen so far.
She's developed a young player, too, in her 24 years at the helm here at Michigan. Wolverines unable to do anything with that long corner. Now Paul D. She's new to the program, but a veteran, the grad transfer. Going to work, and it'll go back to St. Joe's. It touched Paul D. Here's Sol Borenstein, the junior from Argentina. 10 goals in her career. Now near side, it's Coco. Surveys the scene, wiggles her way past Reviello. And it will be a penalty corner coming up here.
Yep, just a hard stick foul coming in from Reviello, and St. Joe's earns that upgraded corner.
So, St. Joseph's will have a first real opportunity at this. St. Joseph's kind of won a defensive slugfest on Friday in East Lansing. Not a whole lot of shots, but they can score, averaging 3 goals a contest. Haley Bitters, the grad transfer from Syracuse, will insert this for St. Joe's. The shot off the mark by Kate Christ, deflects all the way back out toward Christ, and she saves it near the 25. Then a whistle. St. Joseph starts it back up. A little bit more than midway through the first. Pretty sustained offensive opportunity here for the Hawks. There's a bullet pass, deflects. Erica Culp trying to save it to no avail. What would you see during that pretty significant offensive opportunity from St. Joseph's that Michigan was able to shoo away?
Yeah, I think if you're St. Joe's, you know McMahon is really good at those hard shots from the top of the circle. So I'd like to see some more deflections and redirections in front of the goal if you really want to get it past McMahon.
Now Laura Clark had it. It'll go back to the Hawks. Brief stoppage as now there's just one ball out there. Rosie Hope flicks it over toward Abby Burnett, the freshman from Pennsylvania, galloping into the circle. And she earns herself a corner.
Yeah, Burnett really strong on her right side. She just is able to drill the baseline really well and gets that corner or a pass across for a look at goal. So something Michigan has been utilizing a lot is Burnett in the midfield, able to just circle, get the ball in the circle and make something happen.
And there's a look at it from Abby Burnett. Burnett, 87 goals in her high school career, a couple of state championships as well. It'll be Laura Clark to insert here for the Wolverines. Almost 10 minutes in. Top 10 matchup here at Encore Field in Ann Arbor. Here's the shot from Oliveros, and it's good. 1-0 Michigan. Pilar Oliveros had her first goal Friday night, and she's got herself a 2-goal weekend.
And just put this thing to bed.
Great start for Michigan. Now let's see how St. Joseph's responds. They have not trailed a whole lot this season. Their lone loss coming to Virginia 9 days ago. Now Oliveros, that goal, she had 3 of them last year. All were game winners. This one starts the scoring for Michigan. Now Michigan has a little bit of room to work with here. Clark detours, flicks it off of Micah Gorison. And they're going to charge a card there.
Yeah, just another hard stick foul coming in. Clark is really crafty with her hands and just has really good 3D air dribbling abilities. So if she can get it around you, it's hard not to just foul and use that stick to defend.
Now here come the Hawks. Good stick handling there from Lily Santee. Bit of a knuckleball. Bridget McCormick has her first relevant touch, the VCU transfer. Now Gorison tried to flip it up ahead, some miscommunication there, but it ultimately ends up Michigan's possession. Here's Erin Riley, the local product from Saline High. Up ahead, Natalie Millman. She went to Pioneer. Tried to find fellow freshman Juliette Manzour. And now a corner coming up for Michigan.
Yep, so it's going to be another upgrade. You saw the St. Joe's player take that ball when it was Michigan's free hit, so just a little miscommunication there, and Michigan earns the upgraded corner.
Here's Erin Riley, rips it in. Deflected up into the air and over the cage. Pretty good look, but St. Joseph's steers Michigan away. And that going back to the Wolverines. Erin Riley zips it in toward Millman. Working it around the circle. And now it's Celeste Smits. Wolverines out shooting St. Joseph's 3-2. They have the 1-0 advantage in the most important column. Reviello up ahead toward Millman. And that whistle going against Michigan.
Yeah, just a little extra body contact there.
And they get it on the freshman Millman. That one off Reviello. That was an interesting pass right to Gorison, and ultimately goes back to the Wolverines.
Yeah, you can see Juliette Manzour, the freshman out of France for Michigan, just doing a good job of holding the center. It's not very common you see a freshman taking that center mid position, so good for her being able to step up and fill another role for Michigan. So you like to see that when they can step up early.
Yeah, I mean, freshman in the starting group here for Michigan, Abby Burnett. She's the lone starter, but so many others have logged some significant minutes. Reviello, Esme de Villigan. Mentioned Natalie Millman a lot so far today. Final minute of the first quarter. See if the Wolverines can generate one more offensive opportunity here before the end of the quarter. "15 seconds with which to work. Aaron Riley flicking it ahead. McLaughlin couldn't keep it in. And that should bring this first quarter to an end. Wolverines, strong start here today. They get an early goal from Pilar Oliveros off a corner. How about for the Wolverines, something we talked about in that first quarter, just how wise beyond their years this Michigan team with so much youth, so much inexperience has. And here in a top 10 matchup, huge opportunity in the non-conference, they've really played smoothly through 15 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. You just saw they almost forced a turnover right there in the circle. So if you're Michigan, you're really looking to press them super high. That's how they've been able to have success this season, when they just get the defenders' heads down. They can't get a clean look on the ball. Just get those turnovers, those unforced errors, and then they have some forwards who can finish in the circle. So just looking to do that if you're Michigan.
Claire Taylor dumps it off toward Aaron Riley, working toward the circle. A couple of Hawks swarm in there, rip it away for a moment. Nice work from Laura Clark to find her way into the circle. Michigan will have a self-start just outside it. Paul D had it ripped away, tries to get it back along the sideline. Now working the baseline. A lot of crafty ball handling from both sides as the Wolverines will hang on to possession. Paul D just trying to start churning those legs again. You can tell these two teams, they want this non-conference win badly. Wolverines, the first 90 seconds or so, they've had control in their zone. But that time, Rosie Hope's pass a bit off the mark.
Yeah, that was a good look by Riley to try to just change the field, change the point of attack for Michigan. You noticed it was getting really clogged up in that left corner, so just utilizing the big ball and switch the side of attack for Michigan.
St. Joseph's led by head coach Hannah Prince, her second season, went undefeated in A10 play, regular season and tournament champions a year ago, won their first ever NCAA tournament game as they beat Wake Forest 3-1. Now here they are in the top 10, off to a 4-1 start, albeit down early on here in Ann Arbor to a perennial power in the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, just a few moments ago, Abby Burnett for Michigan was issued a green card, just coming in a little too hard on that tackle. You've noticed we've already had 3 cards so far, so it looks like it's going to be an intense and pretty physical game. Both teams wanting to get that top 10 win, so just going to be intense, and the refs have set the precedent right now that they're not going to let that go.
Yeah, 2 cards for Michigan, 1 for St. Joseph's. Hawks trying to reverse the field. That one deflected. And there's Alana Richardson. Had an incredible weekend last weekend for the Wolverines, did Richardson. Game winner against Old Dominion after a couple of goals in the win over UC Davis. Now here's our first look at Zoe Bourmet, the daughter of the Michigan wrestling head coach, Sean Bourmet. Redshirted last year, obviously an Ann Arbor native, and someone who's getting some playing time now in her second year with the program. Coco tried to save it along the sideline to no avail.
Yeah, Michigan's really going to be able to utilize Bourmet. She's a versatile player. She can play backfield, forward, midfield. Right now they have her in the backfield, but she was also getting some minutes at forward against Davidson, so just really versatile, and it's going to be a big player for Michigan in the next few years.
That pass too wide for Haley Bitters and St. Joe's, while Abby Burnett checking back in after that green card. Michigan the narrow lead thanks to the Pilar Oliveros goal off the corner back in the first quarter. Early on in this second quarter, neither team with a shot attempt. And we've got another card. That one going on Kelsey Reviello. This one into the circle. A reverse attempt there from Manu Gigliotti. And the Wolverines able to stave off that offensive charge.
Yeah, just went for stick a little bit more than the ball there, and it's free hit out for the Wolverines.
Good effort from Coco to knock that one out. Some substitutions coming in. Lily Santee, reigning Atlantic 10 Offensive Player of the Year, returns for St. Joe's. She had 18 goals and 9 assists last year for a team that went 16-5 overall. Riley staying active there for the Wolverines. Guiding that one to Allison Buffington. Now toward the circle. Clipped off of a Hawk. That was Santee. Michigan's possession. Here come the Wolverines with some speed. Abby Burnett just back from that green card. Up ahead to Richardson. Wolverines, good execution to get it near the circle. And now the Wolverines try to get a little bit too ahead of things there. Bourmet. She'll start things out. Wolverines looking to add to this 1-0 advantage.
They'll just look to the left side to rebuild their attack from the other side.
And on that other side, Natalie Millman tried to curl around a couple of Hawks to no avail. Good one-on-one duel here. Buffington versus Lindsay Stagg. And here comes a green card for Natalie Millman. She tried to start it off when it was St. Joseph's possession.
Yep, so same thing happened with Michigan and St. Joe's taking Michigan's ball a few minutes ago in the first quarter, and same thing now, and Michigan gets the card.
So here's Richardson. Without numbers, she still wants to accelerate. Snaking her way into the circle. Reverse, just wide of the mark. Oh, that really developed out of nowhere. I think it surprised Janelle Ward in goal a little bit. Much more frantic pace here the last couple of minutes with some cards coming out, with some shot attempts there. That was the first for Michigan in this second quarter.
Yeah, now Michigan down 2 players. They're really going to want to just sit back, not overcommit, and lose another player on the field. So,
and that's a key turnover there with the advantage for St. Joseph's. Wolverines will probably be well served to try to bleed some of this clock with that disadvantage of 2 players. Precise pass from Oliveros. However, Rosie Hope couldn't do anything with it. Hope flips it up ahead in the direction of DeVilligan.
Yep, DeVilligan, another freshman for the Wolverines.
Coming to the program from the Netherlands, where St. Joseph's is tapped into with several players on the roster. That one kind of bounded past a player on each side. It will be going back to St. Joseph's, but much of that opportunity here with a 2-player advantage evaporating as Natalie Millman checks back in. And Kelsey Reviello is not too far behind. And if this ends up being a Michigan victory here, Landon, I wouldn't be surprised if that last couple of minutes would be circled as a big reason why.
Yeah, definitely.
This one going back to the Hawks. See the return of Claire Taylor for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I think both teams know how intense this game's going to be, so they're just looking to utilize subs as much as possible, get players some quick minutes in and out, get some quick breaks, so that everyone's 100% when they're on.
Abby Burnett almost came up with a forced turnover there. And that one never touched the stick of a sliding Aaron Riley. I think the Hawks just expected it would, so now the Wolverines get it back. Millman along the baseline. Crafty work to get into the circle, and she earns a corner. Really well executed by the freshman and the Pioneer High native here in Ann Arbor, Natalie Millman.
for Michigan or a redirect in front of the net.
Kate McLaughlin to insert here for the Wolverines. Aaron Riley lets it rip. Still loose in front after the save from Ward. Good defensive work by the Hawks to keep it 1-0. That one last touched by Claire Taylor for Michigan. Landon, I think the first quarter really was kind of a back and forth affair. Second quarter, though, Michigan has really controlled this thing. The tempo, possession, even though they haven't scored in this quarter, it has felt like the Wolverines have really owned it.
Yeah, definitely. They've been back to their press that they like to do, really putting numbers on the ball for St. Joe's.
But then all of a sudden, a chance here in the circle, deflected wide. Pretty good opportunity for Lee James. It'll be a long corner here. Not sure which Wolverine got a piece of it to save a pretty good look that developed out of thin air. Yet the Wolverines dispose of this chance as Juliette Manzour emerges with possession. Michigan trying to get out there in transition, trying to press the issue a little bit, and they've had success with it a few times.
Yeah, you see Michigan just trying to get some quick touches on the ball.
Here's another one. Oliveros zipped it up. McLaughlin now leaves it for Manzour. Out to Riley and a Michigan turnover. And another mistake there on that far side by the Hawks. So Michigan has possession back. Riley zinging it ahead. A little bit too strong, eyeing Natalie Millman. 2 minutes to play, first half. The difference still a Pilar Oliveros goal in the first quarter off a penalty corner. Speaking of Oliveros, she had possession for a moment. Now Gigliotti, one of the stars for the Hawks. Needed to pause before starting that thing up again. Caitlin Coco will get things going here for the Hawks.
Just didn't move that ball 5 yards before entering the circle, and it'll be coming out for the Wolverines.
So again, an unforced error by the Hawks. Millman can't control. Final minute of the first half. St. Joseph's trying to take advantage of a rare, somewhat extended possession. But the aggression of Michigan got it back for a moment. Now Coco, and a card coming out. The frustration continuing here as it's going to Aaron Riley. That's a 5-minute for Aaron Riley in the final stages of the first half. Oh, it has been a feisty one here so far, and that's what you expect in these types of clashes, don't you?
Looks like they pulled out a green card to Michigan coach Pankratz, too. Must not have been too happy with that call. So the refs are really on it this game, not letting anything fly.
25 seconds left here in this first half. Wouldn't be surprised if Michigan just kind of let this play out. As aggressive as they have been at times in this game. Long way to try to traverse here. And that will indeed bring us to the end of the first half. So Michigan takes the lead 1-0 to the break. today. She's had to shoo away 2 saves. Didn't have many to worry about on Friday in Michigan's pull-away win over Davidson 7-0. So St. Joseph's will start with possession to begin this third quarter. In a top 10 clash, non-conference action on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon in Southeast Michigan. St. Joseph's reversing field aggressive to start. But they lose possession here as it's into the grasp of Laura Clark. Wolverines backpedal here. Playing down 1 with that yellow card late in the first half against Aaron Riley. Bullet pass to Abby Burnett. She was carded in that first half of action. Ripped up ahead in the direction of Richardson, but it comes down to a Hawk. How about that sliding steal from Burnett? Able to maintain possession as she wheels toward the circle along the baseline, trickling in, and a corner.
Yep, again, Burnett just takes it really fast, just keeps the ball right on her stick. It's so hard to make a clean tackle when the player does that, so good job by Burnett to just take it inside the right side of the circle.
The insert will come from Laura Clark. Michigan's goal in the first half came on a corner opportunity. Knocked down by Taylor. Shot in. And St. Joseph's able to dispose of that opportunity for Michigan.
Yeah, good job by the fly on St. Joe's to just get out and get a stick on that ball, so it's not even a shot on goal.
It was Oliveros on the shot who has the lone goal of this one. Some tussling there. Serena Brimacombe will control for the Wolverines. That urgency, that frenetic pace is certainly carried over from the first half to the second half. Reviello couldn't quite dance along the sideline to keep that one in. Lofted up ahead, Michigan controls. Rosie Hope. And that one off of a Hawk. Burnett going to work again. Flips it toward the cage. Just off the mark. And it'll be another corner here for Michigan, much to the displeasure of the Hawks, protesting with Lauren Bruce, the assistant referee.
And hopefully get Ward off her line if you're Michigan.
Once again, the senior Laura Clark to insert for Michigan, looking to add to their lead. A shot from Oliveros deflected wide. Didn't get a whole lot on that one, so St. Joseph's able to shoo away a pair of corners in the first 3 minutes of this second half. But there's Abby Burnett again, the freshman wheeling in and lost the handle. A stick battle here. And finally it's going to St. Joe's. This first 3 minutes of half number 2 has been all Michigan. Let's see if the Hawks here can gain something finally on the other half of the field. Not for long. Brimacombe swarmed by multiple Hawks. Does good work to force a free hit here. Now a reversal and a deflection.
That would have been amazing. I should have thought about it. No.
A little bit of patience there from St. Joe's. Toward the circle, and that clipped off of Rosie Hope, who was hobbled a little bit. Hawks start quickly into the circle, near the cage, and it's deflected out of there. Pretty good penetration there from the Hawks, nothing doing though.
Yeah, you saw Michigan did a good job of just keeping their sticks down and keeping the St. Joe's attacker on the baseline. If you can channel them, keep them there, then McMahon doesn't have much to do. Just keep her pads right there, and not a good angle to take a shot. So good job by Michigan on that attack from St. Joe's.
Bullet pass up ahead. Lee James, who was involved on that last opportunity in the circle. A lot of contact on the inside. As that time, it was Micah Gorson who went down on a spill. Hawks down one. Nice work from Gorson. And that whistle on Sol Borenstein. Michigan will make some substitutions. Esme DeVilligan is back in, as is Juliet Manzour. So a couple of freshmen returning for Michigan, along with Natalie Millman, so a third. The youth movement here, almost midway through the third quarter.
Yeah, it looks like Zoe Barnett, redshirt freshman, also checked in. So just a lot of young talent on the field right now.
Just one freshman starter, but so many freshman contributors here for Michigan. There is one of them, DeVilligan with the steal. That one clipped off DeVilligan. Nice work by Reviello to flip that out to her teammate Millman. A Hawk lost a stick as DeVilligan couldn't quite control that. And now the Hawks emerge. But a steal. Rosie Hope over to Millman. Spinning toward the circle. Reverse. And a corner. Developing that out of pretty much nothing there, and Michigan will have their 7th corner coming up. Michigan up 1-0 on a Pilar Oliveros goal. Looking for another. Shot attempt by Reviello, and it goes through. Another penalty corner goal for Michigan. They lead 2-0.
If it's angled up slightly, just the power of that shot is going to come off and deflect high out of the reach of Janelle Ward. So good shot by Reviello, and Michigan doubles their lead.
And Reviello doubles her career goal count here in the maize and blue. Had her first goal on Friday in the blowout win over Davidson. And here, number 2, quite a weekend for the Virginia native. Now, what does that goal do from St. Joseph's standpoint? Because we've seen Michigan, I think, largely control possession in this game. Now the urgency really has to elevate, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes getting that extra goal down is really just a kind of a wake-up call, you know. Hopefully it should re-energize St. Joe's, realize, you know, we have a quarter and half another one left to put up 2 to tie it. So,
but Burnett and the Wolverines hungry for more. Burnett flicks it in off the side of the cage. I'll tell you, Burnett has a different speed to her. She really can get after it.
yeah, definitely. It's impressive to be able to carry the ball as well as she does. She has quite fast speed, but on top of that, she can just keep the ball right on her stick the whole time, which just makes it so hard for defenders to make that tackle.
Here is Burnett. Flicks it toward the circle. Oh, just wide. Millman tried to sweep that one in. Almost another goal for Michigan.
Yeah, this is really Michigan's sweet spot when they get up 2 or 3 goals. They kind of just find their momentum and can open the floodgates even more. So St. Joe's is going to make sure they don't want to allow another Michigan goal this period. That really would not be good news for them.
Wolverines were up just 1-0 on Friday against the visiting Davidson Wildcats before storming them with 6 second-half goals. Now, Davidson as a program isn't quite where St. Joseph's is right now. The Hawks in the top 10, 4-1 on the season. Went to the NCAA quarterfinals last year. But still, it kind of shows you what Michigan can do when they have that momentum, like they certainly have right now. Lindsay Stagg, Serena Brimacombe coming in. Now it clips off Lee James, but Michigan still has it. Michigan out shooting the Hawks 10-3. Out cornering them 7-1. Another potential chance. Clark into the circle. Lost the handle. And the Hawks emerge with it. Most of the action here in this second half has been on this side of the field. Hawks down 2, need to get something going, but with unforced errors like that, it's going to be tough. Burnett zooming in, deflected, near the cage, kicked out of there for a moment by Ward. Heck of a job by Ward, and now an injured Hawk will pause the action. Another quick developing opportunity is Kate Christ, slow to get up.
Yeah, it looked like a bouncy ball in there. Looks like she may have been hit with a stick or ball. There was a lot going on. Hopefully she's all right.
She stays out there for St. Joseph's. I'll tell you, that might have been a game-saving defensive stop because Michigan was right on the cusp again.
Definitely. And I think just mentally for St. Joe's, if you're going into the fourth quarter down 3-0, it's not quite done, but it's going to be pretty challenging to come back from that. So that was a key save from Ward to keep that out.
What has been the key for this Michigan defensive effort?
Yeah, I think, again, they just do a really good job of putting numbers on the ball carrier, pressuring them high. They don't give them opportunities to pick their heads up and make a good pass, so just pressuring so high, and that really just forces those unforced errors. So,
and here you see in a really tough spot of the field, a few crafty passes just to kind of emerge with a chance to get it onto their offensive side. It was well earned just to get to midfield. Elevated up ahead. Nothing doing there for the Hawks. There's a rocket up ahead. Riley unable to keep it in. Yeoman's work to get close. Now the Hawks with some urgency trying to push a little bit, but that was a off-line pass. 2 minutes left here in this third quarter. Some more contact. Certainly has had more flow to this third quarter than the first half, where we saw 2 yellow cards against Michigan, handful of green cards overall. And maybe that conversation at halftime with the captains and the referees might have helped alleviate some of those issues.
Yeah, definitely. I think both captains got to talking to. I'm sure they told their teams at halftime, you know, settle down a little bit. I know we both want this, but just got to make sure you're playing clean. Don't want to give up. Don't want to be a player down as much as you possibly can against strong teams.
That's all I want.
Michigan reversing field here. Now Claire Taylor sizing up her defender. Haley Bitters really forced her into a tough situation. That one touched by Michigan. So the Hawks down 2, a minute left. Can they generate some late quarter offense? Not when you only can possess it for a couple of seconds. Now Reviello, who had that second Michigan goal earlier here in the third quarter. Smart to let that unfold for a bit. Dangerous there, and here come the Hawks. Even in the waning moments of this third quarter, Michigan's defense still suffocating. Wolverines didn't like that call. And there was some miscommunication there. Michigan was arguing for possession. They rightfully had it, and you saw the referee, Ben Peters, say it was his mistake. Really didn't matter because there were only a few seconds left as the Wolverines score again in the third quarter, and they have a 2-goal advantage heading to the fourth in this top 10 clash on Big Ten Plus. So if you're St. Joseph's here, Landon, how do you try to rally back? Because only 3 shots, getting outshot by 8, and you've got not just 1, but 2 goals to try to make up.
Yeah, I think really for St. Joe's, the key is they know they have really skilled and smart players. You noticed a little bit in the last quarter at the end, they were getting frantic and kind of just turning the ball over, leading for more opportunities for Michigan. So if they can just stay calm, play their game, they know what they do best, just make those simple passes, keep possession. They still have 15 minutes, so I think they just don't want to get frantic and ahead of themselves.
And just 30 seconds into this fourth quarter, we see another card come out. It's issued to Isabella Paul-D, so she will head for the bench. Just when we were talking in the third quarter about how it had started to become a little bit more fluid and, dare I say, calm.
Yeah, I think in the fourth quarter, you know, both teams, this is the test. You got to finish it off. You got to play all 60 minutes. So we're definitely going to see probably more play similar to the first quarter we saw.
The Wolverines down a player. Right now, Alana Richardson galloping down to control it. Leave it off toward her teammate Riley. But the Hawks swoop in there and come up with it. That one just off of Richardson to try to set up a free hit here for St. Joseph's. Wolverines quickly starting things up.
Yep, and the
How
St.
about
Joseph's
that?
player wasn't 5 yards away. That's a great job by Laura Clark to just take that free hit really quick. You know, the refs have been upgrading and giving cards out, so if you can just take it quick, draw that 5-yard foul, and Michigan Wolverines come up with the corner.
Yeah, that's a great example of seeing how a game's been called, been officiated, and taking advantage. So that's the 3rd time we've seen an upgraded corner here.
Yep.
So Laura Clark will insert for the Wolverines, and a goal here probably is the dagger for the visiting Hawks. Pilar Oliveros scored for Michigan in the first. Kelsey Reviello with her second consecutive game with a goal in the third. It's Aaron Riley deflected out.
Yeah, just coming a little too high off the stick of Riley. And St. Joe's earns the free hit out.
So now the Hawks have possession, but here's where that swarming Michigan defense comes into play. A bad pass and a turnover, Riley with it. Up ahead toward Millman. Tried to save it along the baseline, did, but couldn't stop her momentum from carrying her away from it. Now into Richardson, reverse. Deflected by a Hawk, still loose, and it'll go back to St. Joseph's. I mean, there's such a great example of just how quickly a Michigan defensive effort can flip into an offensive scoring chance.
Yeah, I think that's really Michigan's sweet spot.
Here's another one. Abby Burnett. Center to Laura Clark. Flip it inside, Richardson. A little squirmer that's loose. And Michigan unable to take advantage. But again, another quick chance.
Yeah, so really that's what's been working for Michigan. That's how they generated a lot of offense against Davidson Friday night.
Yeah, they had 6 second-half goals against Davidson. And we've got a yellow card coming on whom? It's on Michigan, it appears. And it's, I think, Laura Clark? Marsha Pankratz is a bit confused. No, it'll be Alana Richardson. So Richardson exits. And the Wolverines, once again, playing a player down. And now Clark coming off the field as well.
Yeah, it looks like Manzour came in for Richardson, and I think Clark
was the yellow.
Picked up the yellow card, yeah.
Got it. Certainly was some confusion there.
Yeah, definitely.
And now St. Joe's, they have gotten rid of their keeper. So Janelle Ward is out. They sense the urgency of the moment. Down 2. A lot of time left. But with 2 yellows in progress right now, plus Ward out, this has got to be a scoring chance for the Hawks.
Yeah, so a team pulling their keeper with any more than 2 or 3 minutes in a game is super rare.
Yeah.
Not something you usually see, but recognizing that they are up 2 players, so pulling Ward gives them that third field player. That's a whole line. That's a whole forward line of players. But if you're Michigan, knowing you have 11 minutes without a keeper, you just want to send it down, get in the circle, and get an opportunity on goal.
Celeste Smits trying to get it into the circle to no avail. Now here come the Wolverines. Manzour just checked in for Richardson. And some frustration there. I think she wanted a card out of that. Didn't get it, but now Michigan can slow things down a little bit. And that one clipped off of Lee James. And you can see St. Joseph's staff, if a ball's coming their way, they're going to get it to their team as quickly as possible. Time is of the essence here. Crafty work from Gigliotti into the circle. And a corner coming up. Just the second of the afternoon for the Hawks. Here's the big shot from Gigliotti. Swatted away by Michigan. Some contact. How about Rosie Hope? coming up with it, flinging that mask off, trying to thrust it forward, but it's taken away. Gigliotti again into the circle. It was Coco with it. Now Bitters peels it back out. Michigan able to shoo away the Hawks. And now it's only a 2-player advantage as that first yellow goes away. And there's some extracurriculars.
Yeah, and there's going to be a hard whistle on that play. Not sure if a card came out, but just some extra body contact.
Didn't see a card there, but that's one of the plays. I mean, that's similar to some of the ones that have been carded so far this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely.
Credit the presence here of Michigan, playing several players down. As many as 3, currently 2, with a yellow still about 90 seconds away from expiring. But no one in the cage, and a steal from St. Joe's. Gorison flips it far side. Coco can't get into the circle. Michigan trying to play keep away here at a tough spot on the field. Back out to the 25. Nice touch pass. Toward the baseline. Pinball's out of there. A start here for St. Joe's. Benton inside through the wickets. Will it count? It will not. It was out of the circle, never touched. So Michigan catches a break there. And not much complaining coming from St. Joe's side about it either.
Yeah, I think they knew. Wasn't touched, but just got to keep at it.
Now in front, sliding stop from Bitters. Corner earned? Yes.
And Michigan looks to review that call.
Yep, that was an immediate review request from Marsha Pankratz with 7:01 to play. There. Clark charges back in. Now it's just a 1-player advantage for the Hawks, and that's because the cage is empty right now on the other side of the field. We've seen Michigan generate a few offensive opportunities down a player in this one. They do that here, and they're going to have a clean runway to a 3rd goal. But it'll be a corner earned here from St. Joe's right along the baseline.
Yep, there's another upgraded corner, just calling on the hard stick hack.
They have just 4 shots, looking for their first goal to cut the lead for Michigan in half. That one inside toward the cage. McMahon swatting it away. Ball is still free. Tussling for it after the shot from Kate Christ. Oh, Kaylee McMahon hasn't been challenged much today, but she rose to the occasion right there. It will be another corner, but that was probably St. Joe's best scoring chance of the day.
Yeah, definitely. McMahon just so athletic. She was able to get off the ground, stand up while keeping the ball out.
Santee inserts again. Reverse coming from Gigliotti, and Michigan shoos them away again. You heard that eruption from the Michigan sideline. And the reminder that there is no keeper right now. Less than 6 to play. McLaughlin. And credit St. Joe's with this for, now again, we're approaching 6 game minutes without a keeper, and Michigan really hasn't had a chance. They haven't had a relevant touch past midfield.
Yeah, definitely, and now we're back to even strength, so they don't have those 2 players up. They're just doing a really good job of possessing the ball, like we said, and keeping it down in Michigan's end.
Yeah.
Zoe Bourmet over toward Reviello in a tight space. Michigan quickly starts it back up. Reviello already with a goal. Now a really challenging spot for St. Joe's. 5 minutes to play. 2-goal advantage for the Wolverines.
Sorry, I didn't get what you said. Yeah, I was.
Bourmet.
My bad.
Flips it toward the circle. Millman clipping it off of a Hawk into the circle. It's loose, and a whistle going on Michigan. Oh, that's a huge call there because Michigan was in the circle without a keeper. And that one gets the chin of Aaron Riley.
Yeah, looks like it came off of a St. Joe's stick up into her, so just going to be a Michigan ball. Michigan really looking to just utilize this right side. Most of their circle penetrations have come from this side of the field, so they just want to keep doing the same thing, do what's been working.
Deflects to Reviello.
Nice breeze.
She loses the handle. Now the Hawks down 2, not a lot of time left. Brimacombe rips it away. A tussle for it, and a hard fall. The hustle there. And Aaron Riley goes down hard, but she's no worse for the wear.
Looks like a 10-minute yellow card awarded to Riley.
Wow. Don't see that too often, but
No.
now a 2-player advantage. St. Joe's really didn't get a whole lot going during the 1-player advantage solely through not having a keeper, but they were able to control much of the time with 2, or even 3 for a time. And now a bump by Manzour. No whistle, play on with 3 minutes remaining. Millman fighting for it. And Lee James for St. Joe's given a card. So that equalizes.
It's 91 in the trailer? Oh my god.
And also a card on Manu Gigliotti. So Gigliotti is done unless somehow St. Joseph's can find a couple of goals here. She's one of their best offensive threats, and that right there might be the dagger for the Hawks here today.
Yeah, this is just what we expected to see in the final 3 minutes. Both teams playing gritty, got to finish it out, and not surprised that some cards are coming out.
Burnett flipping it toward the cage, knocked out by St. Joe's. So a long corner here for Michigan. Wolverines looking for an exclamation point here on what is looking like a 4th consecutive win, whereas St. Joe's is staring a split here in the state of Michigan, winning in East Lansing on Friday and down 2-0, the margin they beat the Spartans by on Friday, here in their 2nd game. Hawks still fighting though. Smits trying to snake in. And it's Taylor coming up with it for Michigan. Now this has got to be an offensive opportunity here for the Hawks. And another whistle coming in. Hawks start things up. Lee James flips it up ahead. Knocked out of there briefly by Taylor. Still loose in the circle. Michigan emerges with it. And now time is quite the enemy for St. Joseph's. Wolverines can just bleed the clock, play some keep away, and earn a top 10 victory here. After 2 close calls down in the state of North Carolina to begin the season, this will be Michigan's best win of the season to this point. They have a ranked win over then number 18 Old Dominion last Sunday. That was in overtime. But Landon, this was maybe Michigan's best performance of the year.
Yeah, definitely. St. Joseph's is a very strong team.
And another
It
card
looks like
coming
another
out.
card coming out.
Wow. I guess it's a fitting conclusion to this one.
Yep.
So Rosie Hope. That yellow card goes to Lee James. Doesn't matter a whole lot at this point in the final 10 seconds. The Hawks certainly fought. They tried for about 11 minutes to try to rally without a goalkeeper, but to no avail. Michigan blanks St. Joseph's 2-0 here in this top 10 clash, and the Wolverines have won 4 in a row. Kaylee McMahon back-to-back Sundays with complete game shutouts